Hello and welcome to Legally Wise Women. My name is Jackie Broman and I am the creator, founder, CEO, and the main person who will direct you inside the community to your best resources. I am also a lawyer. I was admitted in Victoria to practice as a solicitor in the Supreme Court back in 2007, and I have run a award-winning law firm since 2012. I'm also on the founding board of the co-op, The Rural Woman, and I'm an accredited specialist in wills and estates, and I am collaboratively trained too. So that's who I am. So I'm an industry insider. I am a lawyer, but I'm going to help you to understand the system, to navigate it better, to keep your costs low. So during the COVID pandemic, the College of Law opened up an incubator program with the Centre for Legal Innovation, and Legally Wise Women was one of the projects that got to be part of that incubator. So what does Legally Wise Women do? So it's for the everyday woman who ends up facing a personal legal problem. So you're in the early stages of a legal situation and you don't know where to start. So the Legally Wise Women platform and community helps replace the uncertainty and fear that you're feeling with confidence and control, because you're going to understand where to start. You're going to understand the system. You use my Where to Start kits. I have self-paced online courses and online membership community. So what we know that only about 8% of people can get community legal support or legal aid services. So if you can't get funding for that, you turn to the private sector, but they're too expensive. So only about 20% of people can afford private legal fees. Where's this huge group of people going, of over 70%? We know that there is so much information in Google these days, but how do you find stuff that's relevant? How do you know where to start? And so many legal blogs are written in language you don't understand. They're written for other lawyers, to be quite honest. So Legally Wise Women helps curate that information for you, helps you understand how the legal industry works, helps you understand whether you need a lawyer, how to find and hire the right lawyer, how to judge the equality of effectiveness of the lawyer, how to communicate with your lawyer, how to understand how to negotiate for yourself, or if a lawyer is working for you, how to understand how they're going to negotiate for you and be better part of that process. The other thing about the legal industry is that it's really set up by men for men over hundreds of years. Women have only really come into the legal system in the last 100 years or so, and there are some really ingrained systemic biases against women. So we need to understand what we're facing. We need to understand how to approach it, how to communicate differently from our natural style, how to make sure that we don't give up our integrity when we're being part of this system. We go through a process of helping you to find relevant legal information and free services and alternative means to resolving anything that you're going through. As I said before, we help you to find and hire the right lawyer. That includes being able to understand what area of the law you need to find your lawyer in, how to measure the experience of the lawyer, how to narrow down who's right for you, how to have that first conversation, and how to have a conversation about costs and what to expect. We learn how to negotiate, how to know exactly what you want and how to go about getting it, not giving up responsibility and control completely over to your lawyer, understanding the negotiation process. And if you're not happy with the way the lawyer's negotiating for you, you can direct them to do it otherwise, or you can do it yourself. Once you've engaged a lawyer, how to make sure that the quality of service that you're getting is the best quality you should be getting, how effective your lawyer is working for you, how you can work better with your lawyer to make sure you get a better outcome. So at the very start, Legally Wise Women helps provide you with some where to start kits in a number of different legal areas so that you can look at other relevant ways of resolving things for free. The next step is being part of the free community. The self-paced courses are the following step, or after that, you can be a full paid member where you also get fortnightly Q&As with me. You get access to case study videos, templates, and all the courses are included in that level. So the main courses in there are how to find and hire the right lawyer, how to negotiate to get what you want. And the third course is yet to be developed, and that's how to manage the engagement with your lawyer. Then I also have a huge network of mediators and collaborative practitioners. So if you want to access my network, once you're part of the community, you can ask me and I can give you a referral for free, putting you in the right direction. So this slide explains the difference between a traditional approach of handing over negotiations to a lawyer that will take you straight into a court versus an alternative approach, which is where I advocate, where you have lots of different options and it's not one linear path. You can come backwards and forwards to multiple options. You can have multiple people help you at various stages. You can do a whole lot yourself, but basically you're accessing as many possibilities to resolve this as cheaply as possible for yourself. This slide is part of the course of how to find and hire the right lawyer, where I explain the difference between the skill level versus the skill set of a lawyer. And I also explain where you want your lawyer sitting in this matrix of skill set versus skill will or motivation. You don't want an unmotivated lawyer, and you don't want a lawyer with really high skill but low motivation. So I explain what you need to be looking for to get someone with high skill and high will, which is what you want. This is touching on the How to Negotiate for What You Want course, where we look at a number of different ways to negotiate. This is an interest-based negotiation process. Lawyers often use a bargaining process, which is adversarial, whereas you can approach negotiations in a very different way by considering your interests and what you actually want in the future. Lawyers actually don't often look ahead to actually what you want. They only think about your rights and they cement you into a position. But if your rights have nothing to do with what you actually want, they could be heading you down the wrong direction. Lawyers often also rule out a whole lot of options without even discussing them with you, which they're not really allowed to do. But in an interest-based negotiation process, you actually look at all the options and look at multiple ways that those options could combine to an outcome that could suit everyone. And finally, something that I like to really focus on is the concept of how our emotions play into our decision-making, particularly for women, but for everyone, how being under stress and in anger or grief really removes your ability to make good decisions. So we need to be in a place where our brain's functioning and we are not overcome by survival emotions, but in fact, we're sitting down into who we really are and what we really want, and then we actually get the outcomes that we're after. So I'd really love you to jump on into the free section of the community, have a look around, and then I'd really welcome you to be part of taking full advantage of everything that I've created here.